All right, folks, it is 9 a.m. Miss Hernandez is present here, and I told her we were going to give everyone 5 minutes to arrive. And just in light of that, we want to be respectful of her time. And Miss Henderson, are you actively pushing the record button right now? There it is. All right, thank you very much. And Ms. Henderson, if you want to moderate, if I anticipate folks will be popping on soon, and if they have anything in the chat section that would be pertinent to our conversation as we give the presentation, that would be phenomenal if you would just let us know. Does that sound good? Excellent, excellent. Welcome, folks. Mr. Thibodeau, thank you so much for attending. We're happy to have you here. Ms. Hernandez, thank you. I have a phone number. I'm sorry, I don't see the name there, but if you want to unmute yourself and just introduce yourself, maybe.
Yes, this is Mrs. McAdoo, Autumn McAdoo's mom.
Excellent. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us. I anticipate that we'll have a number of people popping in as time allows and their work schedule and whatnot, but we're going to proceed. We're going to be, thank you all for being so early to the meeting. We're going to proceed. We're going to record this for future reference. And I just want to thank you all for being here and thank you for being part of the Woodgate community. Let's go around and just introduce our staff so far, and then we'll proceed with the presentation. So I'm Wes Kennor. I'm the principal of Woodgate Intermediate. Happy to have you here. And we have an all-star team that's going to introduce themselves. Ms. Hawkins.
Hi, I'm Ms. Hawkins. I'm the assistant principal here at Woodgate. Welcome.
Ms. Meyer. Ms. Ostrom.
I'm Ms. Ostrom. I'm fifth grade counselor here at Woodgate.
Hi, I'm Miss Meyer. I'm the sixth grade counselor at Woodgate.
And Miss Henderson, we can't see you. She's probably operating two machines. So
sorry, yeah, I am.
No, it's all good. Miss Cora Henderson, she is our tech guru and such an important part of our team. Thank you, Cora, for doing what you do and making things like this possible. So. All right, hey, I'm going to share my screen with everybody, I think, and we are going to go through our first Parents and Pastries of the year. So yell at me if you do not currently see the title slide of our presentation, please.
We don't.
You don't. All right. Thank you. Do you see it now? Wait, hold up.
It's coming up.
We see it.
All right. You should all see something that says Parents and Pastries. And unfortunately, in this day and age, the word pastries is temporarily, I will say temporarily, crossed out here because we don't have any scones in front of you. Our food service department here at Midway ISD is phenomenal, and they really bring it in the snack department for breakfast. So we're going to miss that, but we're going to think outside the box, maybe on how to maybe make it drive through or something in the future. So you folks that are taking time out of your morning can enjoy a wonderful pastry from our food service department. But so Parents and Pastries is something that we started doing last year, and it is really an attempt to really engage our community, highlight the successes of our teachers and our students, and really provide an option for families who want just some face-to-face time with our leadership team, questions and answers, and just to really engage in a dialogue. You know, it's a great place to come for clarification. It's a great place to come for, you know, to voice concerns and all that stuff. So we do have a time at the very end, this question and answer in nature, and I purposefully include that for that very reason. So we typically start off with a greeting, a featured pastry of the month, and we like to incorporate plenty of student highlights, whether those are positive office referrals for good behavior, which we do on campus regularly, or whether it's a student achievement highlight or something that students are undertaking that's just kind of one of those things that everyone wants to know about. We conduct PTA business and then have a question and answer session. So those are the main components that you can expect out of Parents and Pastries. We're excited for the times that we're going to be able to meet face-to-face once again and share some refreshments and just kind of have some more informal mingling time. But for now, virtual will have to do. All right. So thank you for being here. And before we get started, I want to make sure that I let you all know that we are a Title I campus. That means that we have a higher concentration of students that are considered coming from a lower socioeconomic background. With that, when you have a higher concentration at a given school, what the federal government does is through the Title I program subsidizes costs and offers that entity, whether it's a full district or particular schools within the district, which is the case at Midway ISD, additional resources and funding. And those resources can be used to support teacher effectiveness. They can be used to, by and large, the use for those funds is to make sure that our students, whether it's a targeted pocket of students or whether it's just all of our students as a whole, which is the case here at Woodgate, get more intensive services. So one of the things that we did this year is created a campus improvement plan. And we did that with input from various folks. But one of the things that we know is a need this year is that our students were out of school for months and months, which is atypical for their educational experience. So with that being said, we know that there's going to be some academic regression. So how do we build in additional supports this year? And one of the ways that we're doing that is over the next month or so, we're going to roll out after school tutoring that is more targeted in nature, as well as offering Saturday schools. And that is paid for with funds that come from the federal government. And then we also have funds that come from the state government. Those are called state comp ed monies. So with that being said, I want you all to know that we're a Title I school. With that, we each year sign a compact, that's an agreement. From the school's perspective, here are the things that we're going to agree to do in service to you and your child. From the parent perspective, here's how I'm going to support my child to educational success. From the student perspective, hey, I'm going to agree to do these things. That was just emailed out to everybody. So if you'll click that, review the particulars. I'm not going to belabor the point this morning, but if you'll review those particulars, and then also glance at, it is hyperlinked in this presentation, the Midway ISD Title I policy on our website. That goes into some more details about the program. So if you'll review those, let us know if you have any questions at all. And then if you'll do me a favor, we keep a binder each year with all of our Title I compliance information. And we hold that binder here on site. With COVID-19 and social physical distancing and meeting virtually and whatnot, we've had to just think, differently this year. So there's a button on here, and there's a button on the email that was sent out by Ms. Hawkins yesterday for you to really just electronically sign acknowledgement and agreement to that compact. We'd really appreciate if you do that, and we'll just keep that for our records. Another thing I'm required to just let our public, let our stakeholders know is whether or not our teachers are highly qualified, they call it. So a highly qualified teacher would meet the requirements set forth by the state and prove competence in their given field of study. And then in the area that they're teaching. It is with joy that I tell you that 100% of our teachers are highly qualified. Right now, in one of our classes, we have a long-term substitute because we have somebody out on maternity, but all of our teachers are highly qualified. Another thing that I want to just drive home with you, and I'm going to move on past the Title I, is that we truly do. We go out of our way to have events like Parents and Pastries, and we truly want your input. Whether it's a concern or a question or even a suggestion, we want your input, and we want to be partnering with you to make sure that your child is successful this year and just has a wonderful school year. One of the ways that we engage our stakeholders is PTA. Our PTA is, last year we doubled or even tripled our enrollment, our signups in PTA, which was phenomenal. We got multiple recognitions and hit benchmarks. This year with volunteers not actually being on campus typically, it's been a little tougher to if I was going to be just transparent, a little tougher to probably gain traction and whatnot. But at the end of the day, we have some dedicated, wonderful individuals. Kelly Hearn and Sarah Teichelman are staff representatives on PTA, and we have Delilah and Allie, Melissa and Brittany, who are phenomenal, and they just bring such an energy to PTA. They have wonderful fundraising ideas and just want to go above and beyond to make it happen here at Woodgate. So we are just super appreciative of them. We would love you to join our team. So the Join PTA QR code is right there on the left-hand side of the presentation. And then on the right-hand side, you can scan the additional barcode to follow us on Facebook. So go ahead. If you haven't done that yet, please do so. And that's wonderful PTA updates and upcoming events and spirit days and so on and so forth. Okay. So if you want to join the PTA board and leadership team and help out in a more intense way, we welcome. We would love to meet with you and talk with you. And if you just want to be a PTA member and show your support that way, that would be great as well. So we built in some spirit days this year, and we pushed it out to all of our parents. One of the things we do is work hard around here. Our teachers, our staff, our counselors, our principals, we work hard. You know, I was leaving at 7:30 last night, and was humbled by the fact that as I was about to leave at 7:30, which is not typical. I don't stay that late all the time, but yesterday was a little bit later. And as I was leaving, our very own Miss Kim Hawkins, our assistant principal, was coming back to work after working a full day and taking care of some stuff over in athletics for her senior. She was coming back to work, and that was very humbling. But that's just a picture of how hardworking our staff is. Our teachers are here late all the time and whatnot. So we work real hard because we care about your kids and want to see them be successful and take pride in the service that we offer. On the flip side of that, you know, on the other side of that coin, we like to have fun as well. So you'll see a number of spirit days, you know, even with masks on and COVID restrictions. Our first spirit day was phenomenal. It was high energy. It was just memorable. And we did award ceremonies and cheers, and it was great. We did it outside and whatnot. We look forward to continuing to do that. So a list of our spirit days is on this slide. And then on the right-hand side, we have a flyer for an upcoming fundraiser. So PTA, we decided last night that we'd be doing a fundraiser. So the day before Halloween, which is Friday, you know, we always get the question in education, can we wear our costumes? And typically the answer is no, but we're gonna go ahead and give it a shot on the 30th. So the day after our favorite team gear spirit day, we're gonna do a fundraiser where PTA members' children can pay $3 to get a bracelet, which will be a custom bracelet, custom to Woodgate, and they'll be able to wear their school-appropriate costume to school and just have a little bit more fun that day. So we're doing it as a fundraiser, and you know, we're not going to get rich off of it or anything, but it will serve our students and serve our staff as well. doing things like teacher appreciation or, special events at the end of the year or whatnot. So, okay. We've come to our highlight reel, so I'm going to show you a few-minute video about what is going on in our art department. If you have not seen it yet, our art teachers are wonderful. I sat there in the spring last year, and my daughter Kaylee, who was a 6th grader last year, logged in, and she was doing art night with Miss Bernard was holding a special event. So she was at the kitchen table doing art with Miss Bernard, and I was just astounded at the quality of work and the quality of the program that our art teachers put on. So I'm going to show you this little highlight reel of stuff that's been going on this year at school, okay?
Sharon Bernard, and I'm the 5th grade art teacher here at Woodgate. I've been teaching here for about 8 years now, and I'd have to say this year is definitely the most memorable with the pandemic. But it's also encouraging to see that creativity lives on. Students are very eager to create and to express through art, making their own pieces. So I'm excited to share with you some of the projects we've been doing so far this year, and I hope you enjoy. One project we did that was particularly fun at the beginning of the year was learning about pattern. Pattern is a principle of art. It's all around us. And so we explored pattern and then got to take what we learned about it and put it into a project involving one of our favorite things, pets.
Hi, I'm Abigail, and I'm a 5th grade art student. So far in art, I love to do watercolor. I really like doing the pattern project. Mine was a Weimaraner. I did a lot of patterns on it, like plaid, the sun here, and I used markers, and on the background I used watercolor.
In 5th grade art, we not only make projects learning about principles and elements of art, but we also learn a little bit about art history. We study about 6 different artists throughout the year, and so far we have looked at the work of Andy Warhol and Faith Ringgold. One project we did with Andy Warhol is making our own pop art food prints, and students had a lot of fun not only looking at food items, but also learning how they could create a plate, make their image onto that printing plate, and then make the same image over and over in different colors, creating these really cool pop art food prints. As part of our pop art project, we also did a collaborative poster where virtual and face-to-face students colored in their portion of the poster and submitted it to bring it all together on display outside of the library. So we have our midway motto this year, which is Stronger Together. And we did that as well as WGI and support of our school and working together, whether we're at home or here in the building. Recently, we just finished a kind of longer project. We looked at the work of Faith Ringgold, an artist who creates stories making these paintings on quilts. And we were able to tell our own personal stories, and it was really, really neat to hear the memories and personal stories of students as they made their own book, illustrated it, created a cover for it, and now they have this kind of keepsake of a memory that is special to them.
Hi, my name is Isabel, and I'm a virtual student.
So now we have a very small thing book.
My current favorite projects are origami, pop art, and photography. Right now we're working on our own book about a recent memory we've had. My memory is when we got our first dog. I'm really looking forward to finishing it, and I can't wait to see what Miss Bernard has in store for us this year.
I'm always amazed and blown away by some of the ideas students bring, and they love working on them. So the motivation is there to create, and we have several students making different things. One is working on a maze.
Angela, what you working on? A maze.
Wow. Is this a project?
No, kind of. It's just something I started doing it.
How long have you been working on it for?
2 weeks.
Wow. Are you going to cover the whole sheet?
Yes. That's what
How long do you think that's going to take you?
maybe for 4 weeks, 4 or 6 weeks.
4 to 6 weeks?
Yes.
Thank you for allowing us to share our art with you. We can't wait to keep creating this year.
So we're very appreciative of the work of our art department, and this is just one example, just the great things that are going on here, face to face and even virtually. Our teachers have just over the last 7 weeks, just even extending past that, just gone above and beyond, just to bring an awesome educational experience to our kids. We are by and large sometimes at the mercy of some of the technology and whatnot, but they roll with the punches. If there are tech glitches, and they find ways to overcome them. Speaking of tech glitches, there are a few people that didn't get let into today's meeting for whatever reason. So clicking the link, they weren't able to get in. So Ms. Henderson is working on trying to rectify that situation. We'll continue this, and as we're all aware, we are recording it. So we'll be able to push this Parents and Pastries out to folks that couldn't make it or couldn't get in. It's extremely sorry for those of you who didn't get to watch the video this time, but it will be recorded. We'll push it out, okay? And that brings us to, hey, we're talking about bringing it academically, creating experiences that are well-rounding, like art, for example. And then an education would be thoroughly incomplete if we did not touch on the social, emotional well-being of our students. So Ms. Meyer, Ms. Ostrom, would you guys like to talk about character strong and purposeful people for a moment?
Hi guys, again, this is Miss Ostrom, and Miss Meyer and I will be talking. We just wanted to briefly talk to y'all about what we're doing here for our social emotional learning. I'm going to talk about our first word that was in September, and then Ms. Meyer will finish it up for our word for October. So our word that we had at the beginning of school for September was responsibility. And we were teaching the kids to take action and to understand how their choices can affect others, themselves, and the world. So we wanted to really teach them that about responsibility, that it can affect, and their choices can affect their friends, their family, the community even. And then at the end of September, we did have, September was Suicide Awareness Month. And so we did push out one age appropriate lesson about just trying to teach them responsibility about themselves and how they can help others if they see others are struggling with some emotionally. So that's where we're at right now. That was September. So Ms. Meyer.
Hi, I'm Miss Meyer, 6th grade counselor. So this month we are focusing on respect. And respect means seeing good in people and things and treating them with care. So with our SEL lesson this week, actually today, we thought it's very important to look for good in others. And our kids are actually going to be entering a contest. It's called My Favorite Teacher Contest with Greg May Honda, where they're looking for one teacher in our area to win a brand new car. So we're super excited. Maybe a Woodgate teacher will be driving a new Honda in the next month or so. So we're excited about that. Along with looking for good in others, as far as respect is concerned, this month is also anti-bullying month. And so we are just going to talk about kids looking for good, because I think the more whatever you focus on, you get more of. So we're going to be looking for positive behaviors and positive ways to recognize each other. And hopefully that will encourage our kids to continue being kind to others. Also at the end of the month, it's Red Ribbon Week. And so we're going to have all kinds of activities and dress up days that last week. Mr. Canoyer's already mentioned a couple of those that are going to all tie them together with it being PTA, Halloween, and also Red Ribbon Week. So we'll have exciting end of the month. But we truly do pour into your kids more than academically. And it's real important for us to be there for them socially and emotionally as well.
Excellent. Thank you. I know that I got back into town, and based on the last social emotional learning lesson that they did last week, I had my door plastered with all these encouraging notes. So, that is just one of the little activities. There's an extension of the classroom that the kids are actually taking these lessons and putting them into practice, whether it's with each other or with their teachers or staff and whatnot. So thank you all very much for your hard work in that regard, and keep up the good work. And it's just been so refreshing for me to see social emotional learning, wound up into the fabric of school here at Woodgate. So good job. You should all be seeing social emotional learning, character strong, purposeful people. Do you all see that? Because I'm presenting once again. You do not. All right. We'll just give it a sec here. It's one of the glories of technology. It works and it's amazing until it's not, and it's really cut and dry like that. Okay. So we're going to move on to something that's on the forefront of everyone's mind, whether you're going to HEB or heading into work or going to school, is COVID-19 and how are we stopping the spread. So I want you to know that we have a robust set of protocols and procedures to keep your child safe while here, and to keep each other safe, to limit exposure, and just really make sure that we're doing our due diligence to not only slow the spread, but just to keep one another safe. We've even incorporated it in the announcements in the morning. We want our kids wearing face coverings, social distancing. Within a school setting, 6 feet is not always possible, especially in classrooms and whatnot, but reasonable social distancing, frequent hand washings. Our kids are getting sanitizer on the way into class, on the way out, after recess, etc. So there's just a number of things. If you want the details, we have a detailed list of things that we're doing on our Safe Start plan that can be found on our website. But just know that we are, and I think that Woodgate specifically has done a phenomenal job about being consistent with our safety protocols. And thankfully, we have had up to yesterday 0 positive cases. I know that everyone got a notification from me yesterday afternoon that we did have 1 confirmed positive case. It was a case where a child was asymptomatic and they just got tested proactively and it came back positive. Nonetheless, immediately we enacted protocols. Those classrooms, after everyone left, were fumigated. They were cleaned, and our entire campus is getting a deep clean over this 3-day weekend. So just know that we take those things very seriously. If you ever want to check on updated statistics, I have a screenshot on this presentation. You can go to the Midway ISD COVID-19 website, and you can see how many active cases there are at the various campuses, okay? So this screenshot I took before our 1 case registered, so I don't want to appear misleading at all. So just know that that should have a 1. But you could tell that we have, out of our school population, a quarter of 1% roughly positive cases, which is a wonderful number. And I think that speaks volumes and is a testament to district leadership in enacting protocols and consulting with local health authorities and taking CDC guidelines to heart and TEA guidance as well. And then really formulating a comprehensive plan proactively at the district level, which impacts each and every one of our campuses. And then our students, our parents, and our staff taking those to heart and implementing them with fidelity. So, so if you get a chance, make sure you thank a teacher. And I appreciate all of our parent support in this. So just keep up the good work. That to say, keep up the good work. One of the things that we recently amended was our mask protocol and guidelines. So we announced it yesterday to our students that no longer would the masks with the ventilation patches be acceptable. CDC, I was just on their website this morning, and they do not recommend those because although they filter on the way in, they have a tendency of expelling and allowing droplets on the way out. So though the wearer of the mask with the vents is still, sorry, that was our bell, still protected, other people around that individual are more susceptible. So in light of that recommendation and whatnot, Midway ISD has adopted an addendum to that practice that would not permit those as acceptable forms of face coverings, okay? So we let the kids know yesterday morning, and then also just offered them a free mask, had them come up, we gave them a free mask, and then we're including that in our newsletter that'll go home this weekend, okay? So we're always looking, we're filtering new information as research and studies come out, as guidance from CDC, TEA, local health authorities comes out. You know, those new bits of information have a tendency of impacting what we do here at the site level. So just know that we don't just make those just knee-jerk decisions, but we take multiple bodies of information into consideration before implementing process, procedure, policy. Okay. I want you guys to know, and this is the last thing I have for you before we open up to a question and answer, but we have a very important parent night coming up on October 22nd. That engagement is from 6 to 7:05, okay? So it is a brief engagement, but we're going to be talking about technology safety. So as a parent, what can you do to equip yourself with the knowledge necessary to make sure that your child remains safe while online? Because we're living in a digital age with so many traps and you know, things to you know, endanger our kids potentially. Things that, you know, as parents in the day-to-day grind, we can overlook or just not be aware of. So we have folks coming in to educate our parents and our staff on apps and social media tech safety. And then the last half of that is just navigating our technology. So what do we use at Midway ISD? What tech apps and processes do we implement, whether it's Schoology or Seesaw, you know, or a third-party app? Okay, just how to navigate those effectively. So it'll be a brief evening together, but it'll be a meaningful one. We invite you, spread the word, anyone is welcome, okay? Childcare is not gonna be provided. We're also going to live stream the sessions, which is always wonderful for accessibility. But if you'd like to come, sometimes it's easier, especially tech-related stuff, to sit down with a person and just be able to be walked through how to effectively utilize certain technology. Sometimes face-to-face is just the way to go before you do it virtually. Okay, so just know that's coming. We would love to have you here. So just mark your calendars. All right, we've reached the end of our presentation. Again, we just want to push out meaningful information to you. That's the end of our presentation, but I really want to open it up for questions and answers. So just anything that's on your heart or your mind that you'd like to bring before our leadership team, we would love to hear that, and then to also furnish an answer for.
Hi, Mr. Canoyer. This is Melissa Garcia, your second VP on PTA.
How are you doing, Miss Garcia?
Good, everybody. I just wanted to share the reminder. I know you kind of scrolled through it. I might have missed it because the video link wasn't working, but I joined the call a little late.
Okay.
But it's easy to sign up for PTA, guys. All you got to do is log on to joinpta.org. You'll just follow the link, go through the first midway, and go down to Woodgate Intermediate. So super easy, and it helps us out so much. So I just wanted to share that with you all. Yes,
and I will scroll back also to the QR codes. So thank you, Melissa. And we have a rock star team this year. So they just go above and beyond to make it happen for our school. So thank you, Melissa.
Thank you.
So you have both of those QR codes, join PTA, and follow us on Facebook.
Yeah.
Any questions or input, any concerns?
Is there any plans to maybe have topics in the future that address using home access or Schoolology, just to kind of give us some tips? Or are those resources available on the website somewhere?
Hi, Wes. Do you mind if I take that?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Yes, if you come to that VIP night that will be offered on October 22nd, one of the sessions at 6:35 is going to be navigating the technology for parents. I would highly encourage, and I would bring whatever you're using. I would bring up your iPad, I'd bring up your phone, I would bring up your laptop, whatever you're going to be using at home to check your kids' grades or missing assignments or what the kids are doing. They'll have Schoology people there to help you. But when you leave, you will leave feeling so confident, being able just to push an app and then the grades just pull up right in front of you.
And is that physical attendance only, or will there be a virtual option?
There will be a virtual option. I think they're taping it and they will send that link out. It's just that if by chance, I know that some people, the situations are different at home, but when you do come up here and let us help you with that, I mean, we will even load it onto all of your devices where you're ready to go.
So it's not the problem of accessing it. I can get to it. It's just the problem of knowing where to go to find it. I've signed up for the course average email every day, but that's only effective as much as the grades are inputted in there. So that's not helping me. And that's becoming an after the fact. So I'm looking at a way, I want to know where to go so I can access it on my phone, on my computer, but it's not very user friendly in terms of like where to go.
Right. And, you know, even if you're frustrated with that, even today, if you want to come up, we can even, you know, just tell us the time and we can actually just, you know, put you step by step through that process because it is kind of confusing. But I know on that night, too, we're going to really lend some of that time to helping parents. And so, yes, it will be taped. It's just that if you want something now, we would love to provide that help for you.
Yeah, and adding to what Kim says, you know, we have the conference room that we have available that you can adequately space and still be face-to-face and troubleshoot problems like this. When you're talking about the more refined nuances of, you know, notifications and getting into hack and, you know, all those, you know, the detailed things, it may be the most efficient use of time to meet with one of our staff, you know, in the conference room, kind of get it set up. That way you're not troubleshooting it over like a volley of emails or something like that.
No, I totally understand that. And so I didn't understand the answer. Is there a step-by-step guide on the website anywhere that I can use to kind of help myself? because I don't know if I can attend at 6:35. I mean.
And that's fine. And if you're more than welcome to come up to the school. And we have Ms. Friedhelm, our technologist, is here. Ms. Henderson is here. Our registrar, Ms. Herzog, is so proficient in hack that can take you step by step. I have 2 kids in the district, so I do it every day. And so it's just one of those things that once you get familiar with it, we can do that at any time. So I know 6:35 may not work for you, but if you ever just want to stop on in or, call for an appointment, we can set something up for you so that we can help you get through that process.
Great, thanks.
And on the Midway Virtual School website, they have a number of resources related to hack and to Schoology and whatnot. It sounds like your needs are a little bit more refined than some of the information there. I would have to look, and we may have an instructional video that would meet your needs. That's already.
Yeah, I'm just looking. I mean, not even specific. Like, I don't even need you to tell me, like, here's my daughter's class. Just like a step-by-step guide, like a PDF, like just a general guide. But that's okay. I'll figure it out.
Will you follow this? Follow our conference up with an email. That'll put it on my to-do list, and then I'll have someone reach out to you. And
Ms. Nethery, one of our 6th grade teachers, may have that video that you're thinking of. And I, as a mom, I think I know exactly, like, where do you go for the classwork at the top? How do you go into that? So I think that would be beneficial to a lot of our parents. So thank you for bringing that up today.
Absolutely. And if we need to, if that's a more pervasive issue or whatnot, if we need to push that out, we could always include it in the newsletter. So thank you very much for that. Any other questions or concerns? Being in the classroom for a number of years, you get used to wait time. It gets this awkward silence, but somebody eventually says something. All right. Well, I won't belabor the point.
I do.
Yes, ma'am.
Can y'all? Hey, sorry, I laughed at your joke, and then I thought, well, maybe I should ask. In regards to the one student email we received yesterday, if we have not gotten an additional contact, should we just assume that our child was not involved or around the child that tested positive?
Yes, that's always the question.
Okay.
And that's why that letter that I sent out, it highlighted, bolded, and I even increased the size of that one. But, just to try to make that clear, we always aim for transparency and wanting just to keep y'all informed. That's why we show you the ticker with active cases at each site and stuff like that. So anytime there's an active case, or a confirmed case on campus, you'll receive that general letter. And we follow up our nurse contact traces, even in the cafeteria, as vast as that is now spread out to multiple rooms and whatnot. We have seating charts so that we can contact trace. So throughout the day, we contact trace, we determine the activity, we consider the activity that was being done in the classes. So let's just play this out real quick. If somebody's confirmed today, we backtrack 2 days. Okay, what happened within the last 2 days in that child's schedule? Who was sitting near them? What activities were they doing within the classroom? Would those activities, if they were all masked consistently, implementing our procedures and protocols with sanitizing on the way in, on the way out, maintaining a degree of social distance, etc., do those classroom activities lend themselves to them being exposed in light of those precautions? So in some cases, like for the lunchroom, for example, if a particular child is sitting within close proximity, even though we spread them out, it's not 6 feet all the time, unmasked while eating their peanut butter and jelly sandwich or whatnot, during lunch, sitting next to 2 people, we would consider those with an abundance of caution. We would notify those 2 parents and say, hey, your child was sitting next to, at lunch, unmasked, next to a COVID positive individual. So they are technically exposed. We'd like you to quarantine for 14 days and monitor symptoms. Throughout the day in a classroom, if they're all masked and they're sitting there working independently, not interacting, not in close proximity, doing group work and sharing supplies, we would consider that in determining whether or not they are exposed. Anybody who is determined to be exposed, we send a special letter to, okay? And then we ask that those folks quarantine for the prescribed 14 days and monitor symptoms. So I guess that's a longer answer to your short question. So sorry for belaboring the point, but I wanted to provide you a little context.
Awesome, thank you. And then those specialized letters, would they be sent out? Should we expect 24 hours after that initial email?
Yeah, that would be.
How fast is that contact?
So immediately when I was notified, we started enacting protocols. I got the letter out within a few minutes to all of our parents, and Nurse Wyrick and our district nurse, Nurse Klipus, began collaborating, contact tracing, and determining whether or not any students were close contacts. So that happened just very efficiently, and there should never be a time where ideally you would hear any later than 24 hours. So we would try to get it out as soon as possible to further mitigate any risks or exposure to anyone else.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I have a question regarding the thought survey for the half days.
Yes, ma'am.
Do y'all have an estimate as to when a decision might be made on that schedule, or a goal of when you'd like to know that?
Yes, ma'am. We are implementing the thought exchange through the 14th. Okay, so the thought exchange through the 14th, we're going to assess the feedback that our parents and stakeholders have provided us before making that decision. I anticipate that decision will be made very close to the 14th. So far, the feedback that we've received through the thought exchange has been highly favorable, and just an insight to the hearts of our teachers. The partial days that are in discussion based on that thought exchange are really a secondary issue. They have thoroughly been encouraged and appreciated the kind and thoughtful words that our parents have provided. So that has been for them to be able to log in, and I ask that they not participate, but I ask that they just assess what is being said in regard to the topic. And they have been so encouraged at the kind words and the support that our community has poured out, just acknowledging how hard they're working, and being in support of them has just been really encouraging to them. So I thank you guys for your honesty and also for being so positive.
Great, thank you. Related to that, is there anything that you recommend parents can do to help support our teachers during this time any better?
Let me see. I'm going to stop presenting so we can really, our teachers, one of the main commodities that they have needed over the past 7 weeks is time and margin. So we have worked just to ensure that we are doing our due diligence as leadership to support them in that. So whether that is assigning them like additional support with other staff members, or trying to build margin in their day and support them, time, that is what I keep hearing. And that is probably just across the nation, because they're teaching students that are face-to-face and virtual, as you know. So, so just know, I think if I was just going to talk to our entire body of parents at once, I would just ask them just to, one, read instructions that are pushed out very carefully, and then two, just be gracious, because one of the things early on that our teachers ran into is, they would push out instructions or whatnot, or people were learning how to do Schoology and submit assignments and everything. And they would just, they would get a flurry of, emails and phone calls and whatnot, some of which, not all, I just want to clarify, not all, some of which were unnecessary in light of the instructions that they sent out. And what we ran into is that workload initially was overwhelming. And some of it was unnecessary and some of it still was. You know, the finer things of tech nuances and stuff like that, we still troubleshoot from time to time. So reading those things, following directions carefully will streamline the tech process. And then also just being gracious if there's an issue. And we're here to work with you. And this is just speaking in general terms. We're here to work with our parents for the success of our students. It is not us or them. It is, it is us together serving our students. So that I guess is another long answer to a short question, but time is very important. And then the more we stick to just the processes and the procedures and let those efficiencies play out, and then just being gracious to one another, I think makes it more doable for our teachers.
Perfect. Thanks so much.
Yeah, great question. Great question. All right. Hey, as always, I just want to encourage you, if you ever have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to our office. You know, I'm at extension 4150. Ms. Hawkins is at 4155. And then Ms. Meyer, a counselor, if you have counseling questions, 4130. And Ms. Ostrom is at 4197. We are here to serve you as we link arms, get through this pandemic and serve our kids, make sure that they're learning at high levels despite the obstacles in front of us. We're in it together. Okay, guys? So until next time, thank you very much for joining us. And it is truly great to be at Woodgate. Bye, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you.